What up, YouTube? We're back. It's me and Levi. I know it's been a while. I know I ain't really posted shit, but you know, 2024 didn't really go how I wanted it to go. Not necessarily just in racing, but just other things and whatnot. I just didn't get a lot of chance to film. I'm gonna try to film over the winter a little bit, the end of 2025, because I think I'm hopefully gonna really have something to fuck with in 2025. We'll see. You know, I don't want to be here with a bunch of high hopes and ambition and, you know, suck still. Basically, I sucked in 2024. I won a bunch of rounds. I went to the finals in a quick draw, but I didn't really, you know, do that good or as well as I thought I was going to do in 2024. But damn, Levi. Really, dude? Why'd you do that? So, and I've been, you know, being a full-time dad. So, but we've made a ton of upgrades. Right now we're broke because of one of the upgrades, in my opinion. But, or maybe we just started to finally hook the car up. Because I told you I was going to do the Mirrorlat torque boxes, and we did just that. I didn't hold up to my word on making the video to do the Mirrorlat torque boxes, but I'm going to show y'all what I did. And you know, y'all can comment below and tell me how you think the work was. If it's shit, if it's decent, what else I should do. I'm gonna tell you my plans. I'm not gonna try to bore you guys. I'm gonna try to do like 5 to 8 minutes of catching you guys up on what I've done to improve the program and what's happening in the next month and a half, 2 months to get ready for 2025, because I really kind of went all out for my budget anyways. So under here I got the Mirrorlat box in. So what you do is you cut out the stock torque box that goes from one side to the other, and then you weld this in. And I'm trying to give y'all a little bit of light here, and it welds in on each side of the frame rail. And then what I did is I have, it's hard to tell, but I got that bar to the top. It goes from side to side from the roll bar, and then it connects the torque box to my anti-roll bar. It's hard to kind of see, it's triangulated. Let me see if I can get in there. That way you guys can see it. I basically tied in the anti-roll bar and what my coilovers are bolted to the cage and to the torque box. So everything's kind of braced in back here. It's really hard to see because everything's painted black, but there's a pretty good view of it. I got a bar going to the torque box on the top from the cage, and then to the roll bar mount, and it ties in right beside the shock. So everything back here is a ton stiffer. And I put in a parachute mount. I don't have a parachute yet. It's not painted or nothing, but I put in a parachute mount. So all of that made the back of the car a ton stronger. And I did all of that before the summer, and it did pretty good. We've seen a lot of gains. We did get good ET gains with that. And the car doesn't shimmy down track, G-body shuffle nearly as much. I got the Strange Evolution rotors for the back. These are still the Strange old calipers, which is pretty much the same thing anyway. I don't care what they say. The only thing that changed basically is the rotor design. But I got the Evo rotors in the back. I got new upper control arms when I did the Mirrorlat box because my other ones were kind of cooked. I made sure that everything was nice and solid. We went out and we did some good racing. We went faster. We got down into the 550 zone. So then basically, I'm trying to just do a quick recap right here and not try to bore you guys. We got a brand new turbo. We got a TDI 102 GT55 turbo. And right after that, I broke the drive shaft. Well, I broke both U-joints on the drive shaft, and I bent the drive shaft, which, where's it at? The old drive shaft is over here. I don't even know where it's at now. It's probably behind the hood. Oh, here it is. I put some new U-joints in it so I could drive the car around. But I broke both U-joints in the drive shaft. And I broke the ring and pinion gear right after I put that turbo on. Right after I put that turbo on, we cooked this ring gear right here. And that was that. So I fixed that. And then it was Dig or Die weekend, Christmas Clash 5. And I was like, okay, cool. We've been running pretty good. We went to a final this year at a quick draw event, which isn't a big event, but we went to a final. We did pretty good. But that's the only thing that we did this year that was worth a fuck, to be honest with you. So, and we lost that because of my mistake. I deep staged too far, and that was that. So Dig or Die came. I just put a new gear in it. I went from a 342 to a 355, and then went out there and we were doing second gear leave launches. Did pretty good through the testing. You know, my testing was decent. It wasn't 100% great, but I had a pretty quick tune-up in it. Long story short, we get up to Dig or Die. I launched the car. It was a lazy 60 foot like I wanted it to be. Not super lazy, but it was a lazy 60 foot, but I didn't have any mile per hour out the back. The car trapped 103 miles an hour. I blew through the converter, I think because I started in second with the 342 with a heavy car. Yeah, I see you, buddy. Look, he's over there playing in the tires. And I dead hooked the ar and tried to put a lot of power in it, and then I think I just blew through the converter really hard. So the converter's up here. This is a PTC converter, and I've had it for about 3.5 years. I'm probably gonna send this back to them guys. They said it's gonna be like 350 bucks, probably a little bit more, I would assume, to refreshen this thing up, maybe restall it a little bit for my power level, because when I bought this I was not making nearly as much power as I am now. So blew through the converter really hard at Dig or Die. Lost first round for like the third fucking time of going to Dig or Die. I have not won a round at Dig or Die, so I'm kind of out for blood this year. I went out and I got with Pete Nichols at Circle D, and he's gonna hook me up with a new torque converter. I got a nice bolt together one, that way if I want to make changes I can make changes. And then I'm gonna get this torque converter to be a tight girl. I want this to be like when I want to go quarter mile racing, I'll have a brand new converter on the shelf and I can go quarter mile racing or radial racing, and I want this to be my radial converter. And then I'll have my Circle D converter for the bolt together one that I'll be able to change stators on if I want to, for a pretty cheap convert compared to buying a new torque converter. So right now I do have the transmission out. Let me see if I can get under here. Transmission's out the car. And I got a new drive shaft, obviously, because I tweaked the other one. I went to PST and I got a new drive shaft made. I got a 4-inch aluminum right here with 1350 Spicer U-joints with the strange yoke, and that's supposed to be rated for 2,000 horsepower. And I have a strange yoke on the rear end now, so I'm pretty confident in my drivetrain. The transmission's at the builder at Kenny Keller's house, Yorktown, Virginia, to get rebuilt. I'm just getting it rebuilt because I just don't want to put a really nice torque converter, brand new torque converter, in front of the transmission that potentially I blew through the converter super hard on. That might have, there's no reason to put a really nice torque converter in front of a used up transmission. I've had the transmission in there for over a year probably, and it's had hundreds of passes on it, test passes, track and street. So that's the big things that's going into 2025. We're getting a new torque converter, and we're getting the transmission freshened up, and we're going back to a 411 gear. because when I was talking to Pete Nichols, we were talking about some stuff with, you know, starting line ratios and gearing and the mile per hour that I'm shooting for. And we're gonna put this strange, bear with me, sorry for setting you guys down. We're gonna put this strange spool, which I run all strange stuff on my rear end parts. We're gonna put this strange spool and pinion back in there. This is a 411. I ran this for years when I was on nitrous, and it did good. And I can run this, and if something happens, then I'll just buy another one. But right now I had one on the shelf, so I'm putting this back in there. The big changes, like I said, we're re-gearing back to the 411. Brand new nice Circle D torque converter spec through Pete Nichols, and a fresh transmission build. Other than that, most of the things that we're going to have going into 2025 are going to be pretty much what we've had. But we've only got like maybe 5 passes on this turbo. So we haven't even unleashed at all what this turbo can do. I did install a scavenge pump. This is an Exa pump from TurboWorks. That's a TurboWorks Exa pump, and it's great. My turbo don't smoke no more. I did run a regulator. I do run a regulator on my turbo, but this motor's got some really good oil pressure. Under a pass, it makes if it's not really hot, I mean, this thing will make 90 pounds of oil pressure on a pass. So that's a recap on mostly how 2024 went. I didn't really go to a ton of races. I did go racing quite a bit, but we just didn't really kick ass this year. And you know, when you're not kicking ass and you're putting in work and you're putting in money and you know you're putting in time, it's hard to film while you're out there, while you're trying to figure shit out. But I will tell you that we only went to the track one time after putting the Mirrorlat torque box in. We did the lower ones too. Levi, quit barking, you're not a dog. I didn't show you all the lower ones. So now, hopefully y'all can see that decently. They're welded in right there. And now I can adjust the lower control arm a lot better. I still have these on the rear end housing, but that's not very, you know, precise. What, Levi? Yeah, you dirty? So we have a ton more adjustability with our 4-link settings. And what I was getting ready to say is that we only went to the track one time with the torque box in. And I'm gonna put clips in here. I'm gonna put the clips in here if anybody's still watching. I know it's been kind of a fucking long bullshit, a lot of me talking, but I'm gonna put in clips throughout this of how everything went down. And we only went to the track once. The car hooked up hardcore every time. Like, we only went to the track once, and we literally broke everything in the drivetrain. So the car is hooking up way better. Even at dig or die, we did a dead hook. It did not spin a lick, like not even a little bit. Like the wheel slip only showed like 4% wheel slip. So I think in 2025, Blue Cheese is going to be a fucking car to look out for. We've got the traction control hooked up. If y'all want to see a video on traction control, make a comment. I'll post a video on how to do all the traction control, because I'm tired of people fucking gatekeeping and shit. So the traction control works great. Everything's working good. I just need to get this converter in, this transmission in, and this gear change, and do some testing before 2025. I think that this car right here is going to be one of the true street cars to watch after in 2025. Alright guys, peace out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Me and Levi will probably start tearing the rear end apart here shortly, and we'll get after it.